Hey there, folks. Welcome back to Powerful Stoic Habits, where we dive deep into the cool waters of ancient wisdom to fish out life-changing tricks. Today, we're gonna chat about something that'll pretty much turn you into a legend. How to make folks not just notice you, but downright worship you. Picture this. You stroll into any room and bam, all eyes on you, respect flowing your way like a river. Sounds sweet, right? Well, buckle up, 'cause we're about to make that happen. All right, my wise friends, let's hit the nail on the head here. Ever wonder why some dudes and dudettes just seem to have that magic vibe? That thing where they get respect without even trying. It ain't just about having charm. It's about building solid, stoic habits that radiate like a lighthouse. We're kicking off with a quote that's pure gold. Attract what you expect, reflect what you desire, become what you respect, mirror what you admire. This ancient nugget tells us that to get that awe from others, we got to start with ourselves. Become a magnet for respect by living out those qualities we respect in others. Imagine this. You're not just another face in the crowd. You're the main character, the hero of your story, making real waves with how cool and collected you are, thanks to Stoicism. This ain't about tricks or faking it till you make it. It's about genuine growth, the kind that makes people naturally gravitate towards you. Before we dive into those 7 badass Stoic habits that'll have people practically worshipping the ground you walk on, let's clear up why this stuff is a game changer. It's all about shifting gears from being a background player to being front and center, making people see you as the boss you are by actually being the boss of your own life. Tired of running after a little respect? Let's flip the script. Like a lighthouse stands firm and guides ships through the storm, you'll stand firm and guide your own fate with these Stoic secrets. So, are you pumped to see how the world will start treating you with some serious respect? Let's get this party started. Now, here's a fun task for you, my Stoic friends. Jump down to the comments and drop a line with "I am the vibe." This isn't just throwing words into the ether. It's setting your intentions loud and clear. Remember, as the wise Buddha said, what you think, you become. By declaring, "I am the vibe," you're shaping your reality, affirming that you're not just part of the crowd, you're the energy that moves it. Ready, dudes and dudettes? Let's roll out these Stoic habits and watch how they work like magic, making you the person everyone admires. It's time to flip the script. Number 1. Use their name casually and naturally. Hey folks, have you ever wondered about the simple magic sprinkled through our everyday interactions? Well, prepare to have your mind blown. Today, we're kicking off with a game changer in the world of attraction and influence. Using someone's name casually and naturally. It might seem like a small deal, but trust me, it's like having a secret spell up your sleeve. So my friend, maybe you're James, Sarah, Liam, or Olivia, or whatever your beautiful name is. Here in this vast digital crowd, I can't make you feel as special individually, but James, Sarah, Liam, and Olivia must have that little spark of feeling special because their names just echoed through the ether. Isn't it? Now let's break it down. Imagine you're at a bustling party. You're introduced to a dozen new faces. It's a whirlwind of names, but then someone not only remembers your name, but uses it effortlessly in conversation. Bam! Suddenly, you feel more valued than a vintage wine at a gourmet dinner. Why? Because when someone uses your name, it's not just a sound, it's a personal anthem. It's the sweetest melody to your ears, especially in a sea of generic "hey, yous" and "what's up, buddy?" So why does this simple act work like magic? It's because our names are tied deeply to our identity. They're like a direct line to our individuality and self-perception. Dale Carnegie, the wizard of human relations, once said, "A person's name is to that person the sweetest, most important sound in any language." This habit is your secret sauce to making someone feel like the VIP in a world of general admissions. It works like magic because it taps into our intrinsic need for recognition and identity. It's like turning on a spotlight in a dimly lit room. The person feels seen, acknowledged, and important. Consider this scenario. You're trying to catch the interest of someone who's been a bit distant. You drop their name into conversations just like sprinkles on a cupcake. Not too much, just enough to taste sweet. Every time you do, it subtly tells them, "Hey, I see you. You're not just anybody, you're you." It's a psychological hug, a warm, fuzzy nudge that brings them a step closer emotionally without them even realizing it. Using a name is like pressing the right button on a vast control panel. It signals attention and respect. It's a direct line to someone's emotional core. It's a sign that you're engaged, you're present, and not just floating through the conversation like a ghost in the hallway. Now, using their name naturally doesn't mean you start every single sentence with it. That's not charming, that's creepy, like a telemarketer script. Instead, drop their name like it's the chorus in your favorite song. It feels just right and keeps the rhythm flowing. If every sentence is a "Hey John," "Well John," "That's great John," it starts sounding less genuine and more like you're working a bit too hard. Like seasoning a meal, the right amount enhances the flavor, but too much and you'll overpower everything else. This approach isn't just about making someone like you more, it's about creating a genuine connection. It makes people feel acknowledged and seen, and from there, anything is possible. Whether you're looking to deepen a relationship, make a new friend, or leave a memorable impression on someone, it's a powerful tool in your social arsenal. And whenever you feel like things are a bit tough, just remember our mantra, "I am the vibe." Say it out loud, and boom, your battery is charged again, ready to light up the room. Stick with me, dudes and dudettes, because this was just the first trick. Powerful, yes, but just a glimpse of what's to come. In the next one, we'll talk about the echo technique. So stay with me as things are just getting started and are really about to get interesting. And if up to this point you have any questions or thoughts that are brewing, throw them out in the comments and let's discuss it further. Whether it's about how to make this trick work in different scenarios, or just sharing your own experiences, I'm here to dive into it with you. And if everything is crystal clear, my dudes and dudettes, this video definitely deserves a like. So go ahead and smash that like button before we move forward. Stick around, because we're just getting warmed up, and the next habit we're going to uncover is a real game changer. Number 2, the echo technique. All right, folks, let's dive into something pretty slick from our social toolkit that feels almost like magic when you get it right. Something I like to call the echo technique. This one's a real game changer in making someone feel special and connected to you. It's super simple, but incredibly effective. What exactly is the echo technique? Well, it's all about taking bits of what someone just told you and weaving those bits back into the conversation. It's like giving their words a little echo back to them. This isn't about parroting everything they say. That would be weird, right? It's about picking up on key things they mention, showing you're really with them, paying attention, and then reflecting it back in a way that keeps the chat flowing smoothly. Let's paint a picture here. Imagine you're really trying to get to know someone, maybe someone you're into, and you want to impress. You're hanging out, just chatting, and they mention, "I've been really into jazz music lately, especially the old school tracks." Using the echo technique, you don't just nod and switch the topic to your music taste. Instead, you bounce back with, "Old school jazz? That's cool. Who's your favorite artist?" See what you did there? You took what they said, jazzed it up a bit with your own words, and tossed it back. This does a couple of sweet things. It shows you're listening and that you care about what interests them. Why is this technique so magnetic? It's because everyone wants to feel heard and understood. It's like when someone says your name. It's the sweetest sound, right? Because it's personal. It's about you. The echo technique works the same way. It makes the person you're talking to feel like they're the star of the show. It's validating, and who doesn't love to feel validated? Now, let's break it down with a straightforward example. Say you're trying to win over someone who's been a bit distant. You're talking, and they mention they're planning a weekend getaway to unwind. Instead of just saying something generic like, "That sounds fun," echo it back with a twist. "A weekend getaway sounds amazing. Where are you headed?" This simple echo shows you're not only listening, but also interested in their plans. But here's the trick. You got to keep it natural. If every other sentence is you echoing their words, it'll start feeling staged. Like adding salt to a meal, just the right amount makes it perfect. Too much ruins the dish. So, sprinkle it lightly and watch the conversation come alive. Think about how this can play out in everyday life. You're at a work event and your crush talks about how they've taken up painting to relax. Instead of switching topics, you echo, "Painting, huh? That's pretty cool. What kind of stuff do you paint?" It's casual, it's in the flow, and it shows you're genuinely interested in what makes them tick. Now, this isn't just about making small talk better. It's about building connections that last. When you echo someone effectively, you're laying down the groundwork for a relationship where both of you feel heard and valued. It's about creating a vibe where everyone feels more connected and relaxed around you. And here's a bit of a pro tip. Mix in some humor. If someone jokingly complains about their horrible cooking skills, bounce it back with, "So, chef of the year, huh? What's your specialty cereal?" A little laugh can go a long way in making the conversation memorable and fun. But what if you echo and it doesn't land quite right, or the conversation stalls? No stress. Just remember our mantra, "I am the vibe." Brush it off, recharge your social batteries, and dive back in. Every chat's a chance to get better at this. So, my dudes and dudettes, while the echo technique might seem like just a simple trick, its effects can be truly profound. We're layering up these methods, one more awesome than the next, each designed to amplify your social savvy. If you're digging what you're learning and eager to discover more about how these techniques can transform your interactions, go ahead and smash that like button if you have not already. Keep watching, because up next we've got something special. Remember and mention the small details. It's going to be a game changer. Ever had a moment where echoing really paid off for you? Maybe it turned a casual chat into a meaningful connection. Drop your story in the comments. Let's get a vibrant exchange going and learn from each other's experiences. Stick with me, because we're just getting into the groove. And trust me, the best is yet to come. Number 3, remember and mention the small details. All right, let's roll into our third magic trick for making people practically worship you. Remember and mention the small details. This habit is all about the little things, because trust me, in the grand tapestry of human connections, it's the tiny stitches that hold it all together and make it strong. Think about it. When someone remembers something small about you, a hobby you mentioned offhand, your favorite coffee, the name of your dog. It feels like they're tuning into your frequency, right? It's not just flattering, it's deeply touching. This is about taking those nuggets of information that people share in passing and weaving them back into conversations later. It shows that you listen, you care, and you value the person enough to hold on to those details. Imagine you've met someone you want to impress, or maybe get closer to, and they've told you about their upcoming marathon. Most people might just wish them good luck on the day before, but you remember the date and you text them, "Hey, isn't your big race today? Crush it." Just like that, you've shown that you're different from everyone else. They're not just another contact in your phone. They're someone special. This approach taps into something psychological. According to experts, when you remember the small details, you're not just making conversation, you're making someone feel seen and heard. It's a powerful form of validation that says, "You matter to me." Your ability to recall these details acts like a key, unlocking deeper emotions and forging stronger bonds. Let's break down why remembering these little things can be so impactful. When you bring up something small and specific that someone mentioned before, it echoes back to that moment. It shows continuity and attention, which are cornerstone qualities people look for in any meaningful relationship. It turns a basic interaction into a personal one. It's like telling them without words that their words stick with you because they are important. So, how do you put this into practice? Start simple. Pay attention when people talk about their likes, dislikes, plans, or any personal tidbit. Maybe your coworker mentions loving a particular bakery, or a friend talks about how they used to paint. Note it down mentally, or hey, no shame in jotting it down on your phone after the chat. Then, find a natural way to slip that detail into a future conversation. For example, if you're planning a group hangout, suggest that bakery your co-worker mentioned. Or ask your friend how their painting is going. Maybe even suggest a new art exhibit. This tactic shines brightly when you're navigating the tricky waters of romance or close friendships. Say you're dating someone and they've mentioned they're nervous about a big presentation at work. On the day of their presentation, shoot them a message saying, "You're going to be amazing today. Knock them dead." It's supportive, it's timely, and it shows you really do hang on their every word. Now, this needs to be done with a light touch. You don't want to come off as keeping a dossier on someone. That's creepy, not charming. It's about the casual drop of information like, "I remember you said you love jazz. There's a great live jazz night this Friday. Interested?" It's smooth, it's thoughtful, and it hits just the right note. Injecting a bit of humor always helps too. If someone jokes about their terrible cooking skills, playfully remind them next time you're planning a meal together with a grin. "Should I bring the pizza as a backup plan?" It's a laugh, but it also shows you remember the little things they've shared. Real stories stick with us, so here's one. A friend once mentioned how they always lost socks when doing laundry. It was a small, funny detail. Later, when I found a quirky pair of socks with lost and found signs on them, I bought them as a gift. The laughter and appreciation when I handed them over were priceless. It wasn't about the socks. It was about showing I remembered those little personal snippets. Remember, this is about making ongoing connections. Every small detail you remember and bring back up weaves a stronger thread between you and the other person. It's not a one-off trick. It's a habit that builds over time, enriching your relationships and making people feel valued and remembered. Remember, it's often the small details that make the biggest impact. Keep your ears open, your memory sharp, and show that you care about the little things that matter to people. If this resonates with you, go ahead and smash that like button if you have not already, and don't forget to share in the comments a time when someone made your day just by remembering something small about you. Stick with me, because the magic doesn't stop here. Up next, we'll master the art of subtle flattery, a skill that, when used wisely, can dramatically enhance how others perceive and feel about you. Stay tuned, keep learning, and let's continue making these connections deeper and more meaningful. Number 4. The art of subtle flattery. All right, let's dive into the fourth magical trick for making people truly worship you, the art of subtle flattery. This isn't about showering someone with over-the-top praise. It's about those understated, sincere compliments that resonate deeply and feel genuinely personal. Subtle flattery is a fine art. It's about recognizing and appreciating the unique aspects of a person without coming across as insincere or sycophantic. Think of it as highlighting someone's best features in a way that boosts their self-esteem subtly yet significantly. As Benjamin Disraeli wisely put it, "Talk to a man about himself, and he will listen for hours." This quote captures the essence of what subtle flattery is all about, making the conversation pleasantly reflective for the other person. The key to mastering this skill is authenticity. You want your words to reflect a true appreciation, a moment where you notice something genuinely admirable about someone and highlight it without expecting anything in return. For example, if you're getting to know someone you're interested in, pay close attention during your conversations. Let's say they mention a recent project they completed at work. A subtle compliment could be, "I've noticed you have a real knack for explaining complex ideas clearly. It must be why your team speaks so highly of you." This approach does two things. It shows that you listen and that you value their abilities. It's a double win, a compliment that makes them feel good about themselves and appreciates their professional capabilities without crossing into personal boundaries too quickly. In romantic relationships, the art of subtle flattery can be especially potent. It's about more than just complimenting appearance. It's about acknowledging their qualities, choices, and efforts. Say, your significant other has been stressed about a presentation, and they finally nail it. Instead of a generic "good job," go for something heartfelt like, "You handled that presentation with such grace and confidence. I love how passionate you become when you believe in your work." This not only celebrates their success, but also reinforces your admiration for their passion and dedication. Timing is crucial when it comes to subtle flattery. The most impactful compliments are those that come naturally in the flow of conversation. They should feel spontaneous, not like you've been holding on to them waiting for the perfect moment. If your date is talking about how they've organized a community event, slipping in a comment like, "You have a real talent for bringing people together," right as they describe their coordination efforts, can boost their morale immensely. One of the magical things about subtle flattery is its lasting impact. When you compliment someone genuinely, that moment can stick with them, making them feel valued and seen long after the conversation ends. It's like planting a little seed of positivity that continues to grow in their minds. For instance, if you're out on a date and notice something particularly thoughtful they've done, mention it. "I noticed how you made sure to include everyone in our conversation tonight." That's a rare quality. This not only makes your date feel good, but also sets you apart as someone sensitive to the nuances of social interactions. However, there's a fine line between subtle flattery and seeming disingenuous. The last thing you want is for your compliment to come off as trying too hard, or as if you're flattering for the sake of getting something in return. Keep your compliments relevant and proportional to the moment. Overdoing it can have the opposite effect, making the person feel uncomfortable or skeptical of your intentions. When used wisely, subtle flattery can create a ripple effect in your relationships. It enhances mutual respect and admiration, deepening the connection in ways that are both meaningful and enduring. It encourages a positive feedback loop where both parties feel increasingly comfortable and appreciated, fostering a climate of affection and mutual support. So, as you move forward in your journey of making others admire and respect you with these Stoic habits, remember that the art of subtle flattery is not just about making someone feel good. It's about creating a space where appreciation flows naturally, where your words leave a lasting impression and elevate your relationships to new heights. And trust me, the next habit we're about to dive into is even more powerful and magical, something that will truly change the way others see and respond to you. If you're enjoying this journey so far, don't forget to hit that like button if you have not already, drop a comment, and share your experiences with subtle flattery. Let's keep the conversation going because we're just getting started. Number 5. Strategic vulnerability. As we delve deeper into our journey of making people genuinely admire and respect us, let's unpack a potent tool in our social toolkit: strategic vulnerability. This isn't about baring your soul on a whim or showing weakness, but about choosing moments of openness that deepen connections, making your interactions not just memorable, but genuinely impactful. Strategic vulnerability is about the artful balance between strength and openness. It's knowing when to share a bit of your personal story or struggles in a way that is both genuine and measured. This deliberate sharing creates a bridge of empathy and trust, showing others that you're not just a surface-level personality, but a complex, relatable individual. Imagine you're getting to know someone who always seems perfect. They're always in control and never have a hair out of place. It might be impressive, but it can also be a bit intimidating, right? Now, imagine this person shares a moment from their life where they faced a challenge or a setback and how they navigated through it. Suddenly, they're not just this flawless figure. They're human, just like you. That's strategic vulnerability in action. Here's how you can practice this. Let's say you're at a gathering and the topic of fears comes up. Everyone's a bit hesitant to share, but you mention a fear of failure that you've grappled with in your career. You don't just leave it at that. You also share how confronting this fear has led to personal growth and unexpected opportunities. This kind of sharing shows depth and invites others to connect with you on a more meaningful level. It's crucial, however, to keep this strategic. This isn't about offloading your deepest woes onto someone you've just met or using personal stories to dominate the conversation. It's about selective sharing that enhances mutual understanding and respect. Timing and context are everything. Sharing a personal story during a light-hearted chat about favorite movies might not resonate the way you'd like. But in a deeper conversation about life paths or personal growth, revealing a bit about your challenges or aspirations can create a powerful moment of connection. Consider a scenario where you're talking to someone you admire romantically. Instead of just sticking to safe topics, you share a small personal anecdote about a lesson you learned from a past relationship mistake. This doesn't just show that you're open to learning from your experiences. It also shows maturity and the ability to reflect on yourself, which are highly attractive traits. When done right, strategic vulnerability can have ripple effects. It can transform workplace relationships by showing your colleagues that you value authenticity and trust. It can deepen friendships as friends feel more comfortable reciprocating their own stories, and in romantic relationships, it can break down walls, paving the way for a deeper connection and mutual respect. There's a subtle strength in vulnerability that is often underestimated. By strategically opening up, you're not displaying weakness, but courage, the courage to be seen as you are. This kind of courage is compelling and attractive. It draws people to you, not just because they see parts of themselves reflected in you, but because you inspire them to be open as well. Remember, the key here is balance. Sharing too much too soon can overwhelm others and detract from building a solid foundation. Strategic vulnerability is about sharing just enough to forge genuine connections and not a drop more. So as we continue on this path of making others admire and respect us, let's embrace the power of being open in the right moments. If you found this insight helpful, don't forget to hit that like button if you have not already, share your thoughts in the comments, and stay tuned. Our journey together is shaping up to be truly transformative, and the best is yet to come. Remember, every interaction is a chance to leave a mark. Make it a positive one. Number 6, embrace the background. As we navigate our series on influencing others and garnering admiration, let's explore a counterintuitive yet powerful tactic: embracing the background. This subtle strategy involves stepping back to allow others to shine, a nuanced form of interaction that can significantly enhance how others perceive and appreciate you. Embracing the background is not about fading into obscurity. It's about consciously choosing moments to let others take the spotlight while you support and elevate them from behind the scenes. This approach is about understanding the power of presence, even a quiet one. It's knowing that sometimes the most influential person in the room isn't the one doing all the talking, but the one facilitating the success of others. Imagine you're at a dinner party or a work function. Instead of trying to dominate the conversation, you focus on asking others about their achievements and interests. You listen, you nod, you ask insightful follow-up questions. What does this do? It makes people feel seen and heard, boosting their self-esteem. And guess what? They associate these positive feelings with you. In personal relationships, whether with friends or romantic partners, the ability to step back is invaluable. Consider a scenario where your partner has a significant career milestone to share. Instead of interjecting with your own stories, you encourage them to share more about their experiences and feelings. You celebrate their achievements and perhaps even organize a small gathering to honor their success. This shows that you not only care about them, but are also secure enough to bask in their success without feeling overshadowed. By embracing the background, you create a ripple effect of goodwill and mutual respect. Your friends and loved ones begin to view you as a pillar of support, someone who truly wants the best for them. This deepens the trust and bond in your relationships, paving the way for a dynamic where they are likely to reciprocate the support. In a professional setting, this approach can transform how colleagues and superiors view you. Let's say a team member has done an exceptional job on a project. During the next team meeting, you highlight their hard work and creative solutions, maybe even suggesting that they take the lead in the next project briefing. This not only boosts their confidence, but also positions you as a leader who is interested in the growth and development of your team. True leadership is often about making others feel empowered. Embracing the background is a testament to your leadership skills. It shows you can lead from any position, not just the front. It demonstrates humility, a trait that's increasingly recognized as a hallmark of great leaders. Social settings also provide a fertile ground for practicing this technique. At social gatherings, being the one who introduces people to each other, who remembers to bring up topics of interest to shy or quieter individuals, or who ensures that everyone feels included in the conversation, can make you a beloved figure in your social circles. It's important, however, to balance this approach. While it's beneficial to let others shine, make sure you're not completely erasing your presence. The goal is to be like the director of a play, unseen but absolutely essential, orchestrating a beautiful outcome where everyone feels part of the success. In a world that often celebrates the loudest voices, there's unsung power in humility and in those who know how to lift others up. By embracing the background appropriately, you're seen as magnanimous and wise, qualities that draw people to you in a profound and respectful way. As we continue to explore different facets of making people respect and admire you, remember that sometimes the most impactful actions are not about stepping into the light, but about holding the light for others. If you found this perspective enlightening, don't forget to like, comment, and share your experiences of when taking a step back helped you forge stronger connections. Stay tuned, because the journey to deepening our influence and relationships is just getting more interesting. Number 7, take responsibility for your actions. As we round out our series on habits that can make people genuinely admire and respect you, there's one principle that stands as perhaps the most powerful of all: taking responsibility for your actions. This might seem like a simple gesture, but believe me, its impact is profound. It's like planting a tree. While the act is small, the results grow over time to provide shade, beauty, and structure in the garden of your relationships. I've personally tested this principle in my own life, and the positive shifts it creates are truly transformative. Taking responsibility isn't just about saying, "I did it," when things go wrong. It's about owning your actions, the good and the bad, and understanding how they affect others. This habit is the cornerstone of trust and integrity in any relationship. It shows that you are reliable, honest, and committed to mutual respect. When you openly acknowledge your mistakes and work to rectify them, you're not just patching up a single error, you're reinforcing the foundation of your entire relationship. Imagine your relationship as a ship you and your partner are sailing together. Taking responsibility when you steer the ship off course isn't just about correcting the path. It's about showing your partner that you're vigilant and attentive to the journey you're sharing. Each act of taking responsibility is like adjusting the sails. It's how you navigate through both calm and turbulent waters, showing commitment to reaching your destination together. I remember a time when I forgot an important anniversary. It wasn't just any date. It was marking a milestone in our relationship. The oversight could have easily been brushed off with excuses. I was busy with work. It slipped my mind. But instead, I chose to own up immediately. I acknowledged the hurt my forgetfulness caused, and I made it up to my partner with a special surprise dinner and a heartfelt apology. This incident, while small, reinforced my partner's trust in me and showed that I valued our time together enough to make things right. The result? A deeper bond and an understanding that we could rely on each other even when mistakes were made. It's not always easy to take responsibility, especially when the stakes are high or when emotions are involved. In moments like these, remember that the goal of taking responsibility is not to cast blame on yourself, but to foster openness and honesty. Approach these situations with the intention of healing and growth, not just for you, but for all involved. Taking responsibility the right way involves several key steps. First, clearly state what happened and your role in it. Avoid sugarcoating or shifting blame. Next, offer a sincere apology that acknowledges how your actions may have affected the other person. Finally, show that you're committed to making amends and preventing future mistakes. This could involve setting reminders for important dates, creating plans to handle work stress better, or simply being more attentive. During times when taking responsibility feels particularly challenging, remember why you're doing it. Reflect on times when someone took responsibility for their actions towards you and how it made you feel. Likely, it brought a sense of relief, respect, or closure. Emotions you now have the power to foster in your relationships. Taking responsibility for your actions builds a bridge to deeper understanding and mutual respect. It's a clear signal to those around you that you value their feelings and that you're committed to the health of your relationship. As we close this series, I encourage you to embrace this habit not just as a tool for improving interactions, but as a fundamental principle for living with integrity and respect. One of the profound ways taking responsibility has affected my relationships has been through the establishment of a deeper trust. Whether with friends, family, or partners, when they see you own your actions and rectify your mistakes, it lays down a layer of trust that is hard to break. This trust becomes the bedrock upon which lasting relationships are built. It encourages openness and honesty, where both parties feel safe to express themselves without fear of judgment or retribution. Moreover, embracing this habit helps dissolve conflicts more effectively. By acknowledging your part in a disagreement and addressing it head-on, you often encourage the other person to do the same, leading to quicker, more amicable resolutions. This doesn't just resolve the issue at hand, but strengthens the relationship against future turbulence. If you're inspired to start taking more responsibility in your interactions, hit that like button, share your stories in the comments, and let's continue to grow together in respect and admiration. Remember, every small step in this direction is a giant leap towards becoming a person others not only respect, but truly admire. If you've reached this point in our journey together, you are truly a legend, because it shows your commitment to not just improving how others see you, but also to deepening your understanding of yourself and nurturing your relationships. You're not just watching a video, you're taking steps toward becoming a more conscientious and respected individual. That's what makes you stand out as a true leader in your own life. And to let me know you're with me, drop a quick "keep it up" in the comments below. It's a small act, but it tells me that you value this content and motivates me to keep creating and sharing more insights with you. Don't forget to hit that like button if you found these tips helpful, and share this video with anyone who might benefit from a little extra wisdom on their path to personal greatness. Remember, every comment, like, and share not only supports this channel, but also spreads the message of growth and responsibility, a ripple effect that can make all the difference. So let's keep the momentum going, keep the conversation alive, and continue to inspire each other to reach new heights. Stick with me, and together we'll keep unlocking new levels of respect and admiration in all our relationships. Thank you for watching, and as always, keep striving, keep shining, and keep it up.